Hi, this is Andrew Robinson, and for some reason, you're about to listen to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. I can only imagine what that show is like.
The latest in pop culture and nerd news, an unhealthy obsession with pizza, and more Trek than 12 listeners can handle. Seriously, guys, we could use a few new subscribers, so, tell a friend, please. Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
Good morning.
Oh, there it is.
There it is.
There it is.
Oh, what it is.
Good morning, and welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. This is Nick.
Man, that was the least enthusiastic thing I've heard.
Redo. Here we go.
No, we've had like really early morning episodes where we're all like,
all right,
let's
rewind. Good morning, and welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians.
No,
this is Nick.
That's too much now.
Good morning, and welcome to Keeping Up with the Cardassians. This is Nick.
This is Rob.
This is Joe.
And it's great to have you back. We're no longer in Zoom edition. We're no longer in Joe Has Cancer edition.
Despite everybody's best efforts,
He's
I have
alive.
survived.
You had an opportunity for a Star Trek quote there. Drop the ball.
Yeah, I dropped the ball. But
What was it from Voyager? What was it from?
One of the movies.
The ones that I've seen?
The reports of my demise have been greatly exaggerated.
Yes.
Well, regardless, thank you for joining us on Keeping Up with the Cardassians, your favorite podcast related to Star Trek and all pop culture news going on in the world, including video games, TV shows, movies, and so much more.
We're at least in your top 100.
No, we're number one.
We're number one in your hearts.
We're number one. We're number one. No, you can let's just believe it.
Lower decks.
Let's live it into existence. Let's speak it into existence.
I just noticed you're wearing a Tesla zip-up, you son of a bitch.
I just looked at it too.
It's okay. Again, I'm only wearing it here. I'm not wearing it anywhere else.
You're only wearing it on a recorded podcast that's going out on the internet for all to see for eternity.
You can't see it.
I'm gonna see if we can now. I'm gonna zoom
No,
up.
don't. I don't like Tesla. I just own their crap now, and I'm not.
I don't like Tesla. I just drive their car and wear their clothes and wear their jackets.
I can't get rid of my car because it's a lease, man. I've looked into it. If you want to give me $8,000 to cancel my lease out, I will cancel that lease.
Go fund me.
Isn't there
Get Nick out of the what did they call it?
Can you sublet it?
Huh?
Can you sublet your lease?
Tesla does not allow that. So
you sign an agreement or something like that.
Yeah,
so you don't do that.
What are they calling?
So hypothetically, on your way home, if you something happens and you have to get out of your car, what do?
I don't. I'm not gonna
Nothing.
get out of my car today. No,
it's burning. I don't care.
Yeah, which is such a bummer because I got this was part of the free crap I got when I got the Tesla. They sent me like a jacket and a hoodie and some other stuff.
Condoms.
Whatever.
They don't work.
I know.
And this is super comfortable. The puffer jacket they sent me is super comfortable. It's just a bummer, but I can't take off the logo.
You can put something over it.
I don't want it to be soon because I love you. But when you die, I hope you die in Tesla clothing. So that's the last thing somebody sees you in.
Isn't it like the equivalent of like people when they're like always wear clean underwear because if you get in a car accident? Yeah, it's the same idea. Never wear Tesla gear.
Listen, if I'm leaving the house, I'm not wearing my Tesla gear. I can't chance something happening.
Yeah.
You got some Tesla gear, Joe?
Yeah.
I should have worn your Tesla gear with my Make Cardassia Great Again hat.
Oh my gosh. That would be great. Yeah. So again, I don't. I guess if it looks like a duck and quacks like a duck after a while, right? You're like, I don't support Tesla, and here I'm wearing the shirt.
And you're wearing feathers, and you have like a beak you put on. I have like a Halloween beak.
Yeah, exactly.
You're like, I'm not a duck.
I'm not.
I'm a human under here, but I just like looking like a duck.
Yeah. What I did is I pulled off the clean clothes that were on the ground, and this was one of the shirts. Are you saying I should throw this away? Should I throw away my Tesla shirt, even though it's comfortable?
Sell it.
Oh my
Ooh,
gosh.
yes.
They'll buy it.
Yes, they will.
The Tesla people will buy it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I'm on the Tesla Reddits. I've looked
Of course
on
you
there.
are.
Well, because I'm curious what people are doing with their cars, how they're getting rid of them.
Oh,
So I've
okay.
been researching that. And everyone's like, they're like, it's the worst drive. I can't get out of this car and I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. And like,
Are they safe?
what?
Teslas.
Yeah, they're safe.
Drive it into a tree.
I mean, the problem is they record everything.
Okay,
So,
yeah,
like,
because I know a guy that can steal cars, but I just put it in the mass area.
I mean, we'll
don't know.
think about it. We'll talk about this off air. Off air. It's going to be an off air conversation. But yeah, if I could get out of my Tesla, I would absolutely get out of it. Not because I don't love the car. The car is great. Everything else about the car, the people who made the car.
There's a little stigma on it now.
A little bit.
Which is interesting because, like, if you drive a Ford was notoriously, like,
Anti-Semitic back
Anti-Semitic
in the
and-
day. Yeah, yeah. But that was a different era.
That was
When it was
also-
like okay to be
He's also
anti-Semitic.
been dead for a while.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. For
Are you saying
about
Ford Jr.? Bill Ford Jr. is
Volkswagens
Volkswagens were founded, but basically by Hitler, right?
They were
Beetle. The
like,
Beetle was
they were like Nazi
not
fleet
founded.
cars.
They were like I think it was the Beetle was like funded by the Nazi Party. Like
Yeah,
he
they were
wanted
like-
an everyday person.
You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to find a way to link all that to the Beatles and try to get people.
No,
to
you
hate
can't do
Beatles.
that. There's
You can't do that.
It's EE, and then
I'm going to
it's
try.
EA.
I'm going to try.
No, you're dumb.
That's true. He's got you. He's got you there.
I'm going to find out a way to do it.
So here's the thing about your idea. You're an idiot.
Yeah.
That's a
But
very
I'm
well.
still going to try.
That is a very well reasoned argument that you have
And this
no
is coming
rebuttal
from a guy
for.
wearing a Tesla shirt. So
Actually, you can't speak then.
you
so,
know it means
So that means I'm a
something.
genius.
That really hurts your case.
Yes.
All right.
That shit was airtight until you mentioned that.
That's true.
And now I feel really good about my chances.
I really apologize. So I didn't even realize. So the other day, though, I was driving the car and like I've been paying attention to see if people are flipping me off or and no one has yet, right? And then I got home the other day and Leslie's like, hey, have you had any issues with the car? And I'm like, no. And Eli was sitting right next to me. He's like, actually, Dad, the other day when you were driving home, you got flipped off like 3 times. I'm like, no way. He's like, yeah, I was paying attention. People they see your car and they flip you off. I'm like, you sure it's not my driving? He's like, no, because they're not even close to you when they're flipping you off. I'm like, oh, good to know.
It's good to know.
Good to know. I want one of those bumper stickers that you can get, the anti-Elon Tesla Club or whatever. But like
You should get a sticker that says Tesla.
Tesla. Yeah. I've seen online where people have taken off the badges of Tesla and they've put like Toyota in its place.
I've seen that too.
It's freaking.
Okay, that's hilarious.
And if it wasn't a lease, I would do that, but it's a lease, so I can't do that. But a bumper sticker could be okay, right? Can a bumper or bumper
Nothing
sticker?
permanent because you have to try to find a way to peel that off.
Yeah. So like, what would you do? It would have to be on the and you can't use magnets because it's not
metal.
metal. So what do I do? You guys, I'm in a
How long are you in prison for?
4 years.
4 more years.
4 more
No,
years?
I'm kidding. A year.
Oh.
I got a year.
Well, you can make it through that
Oh,
year.
that's not bad. You can.
Okay, it's really a year and a half, but after
It's
a year,
really 3 years, but
No, it's
And-
July of 2027. So a year and a half.
And then after that, you can go see Marty Pearson and Bill Brown Ford.
Think Ford first.
July of 27.
Yeah,
You mean 2.5 years?
July of 26.
Are you
July of 26.
Are you sure?
Okay.
Yes,
Just there's a big difference there.
26 because I got it in 23.
Has it really been that long?
No.
If you got it in 23, that we. If you
Hold
get it for 4
on.
years,
Hold on.
he can't math.
Math
20
is hard, everybody.
Wait.
July of 20. Is it a 3-year lease or a 4-year lease?
Wait.
My lease is 2 years.
I don't like the way you talk to me on
and
air.
I know I have a year and a half left
I
with
don't
it.
like the way you talk down to me. I'm good enough. I'm strong enough, and people like me.
And gosh darn it, people like
People
me.
like me. Manage lease. Here we go. Oh, wait. Yeah. Lease maturity, July 14th of 2026.
All right, there you go. All right.
Clock is ticking.
The clock is ticking.
So if you want to buy a Tesla, let Nick know.
Tesla.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'll give it to you.
one Tesla for sale.
One Tesla for sale.
Well, I want to make the show name, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, in the Tesla font.
Tesla.
Tesla. I love it. So I want to buy one of those stickers, though, but I can't go on Amazon to buy it because they're crazy, too. Like,
Are they?
yeah. Jeff Bezos is.
Well, I mean, don't you already order things from?
No, I've gone cold turkey on Amazon. I haven't ordered something from Amazon in over a month now.
Really?
The entire Bonsky family?
Yeah, we've all gone cold turkey. No Target shopping. We've stopped shopping at Target.
Wow.
Because Target got rid of their DEI policies to get favor with Trump.
So where are you going to Walmart? Where do you shop? No, okay. Where are white women going to shop?
I know.
If Target and Amazon are off the board.
You mistake my wife as a big shopper in the first place.
No, I'm
talking to your average white.
This
You can
question
go to the mall.
This question is adjacent to
Nobody
Let's
goes to the
go
mall.
to the mall.
12 Oaks.
We have a couple malls
All right.
around here. Yeah.
12
But
Oaks.
there was just an adjacent question to your cold turkey. Like, if everybody, like, where are people going to shop if it's not
Sears. Come see the softer
Sears has been
side
closed
of
for a while.
Kmart.
Dead.
Montgomery Ward.
That's been dead for decades.
Shoot.
This is why I liked it better when shit was around.
I know, right?
Yeah.
There is something to that. Like, and I saw the other day that, was it Joanne Fabrics is going out of business?
Yes.
And someone released an article about it, and it's like, this was bound to happen because what Joanne Fabrics did basically was when they came around, they didn't chase away competitors with better prices or anything. They just literally bought out their competitors. They just offered them money to close their shops.
Yeah.
So, and then their fabric quality is terrible there. Their whatchamacallit, what do you call their revenue? Their gross revenue is not great. Their net revenue.
Okay.
It was never great.
Their
And then
EBITDA?
and then they got bought out by like a private equity firm. And once that happens, you're screwed. Like you're getting piecemealed off. And that's
Joanne's ruthless.
Yeah, that's what happened with Joanne's. Same thing with Party City USA. Like they're all going out of business.
Yep.
Where am I going to get my balloons? There used to be local little
Dollar Tree.
But think about it.
Those ones are sure crap, though.
Yeah, think about like how
Really the only balloon game in town.
Amazon.
Oh God.
it used to be though, where you would have like in your area in the strip mall, there'd be a local party, like a party
Supplies.
store. Yeah, and it was never a chain. And now those are gone.
Well, there's Party City USA, and there was like Party. There was another party
In the USA, Miley Cyrus style.
Thanks, but there was another party store like that. I can't think of the name of it, but that went under years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it got bought out by Party City.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, they merged. It's kind of like Staples and Office Max and Office Depot. Like, didn't they all three merge? Or
No, I think there's two of them still around. They're just not big.
yeah, Office Max and
Staples,
Staples.
yes.
Staples because they got the easy button. Yeah. But
Ding.
it's just so funny. The rise of the corporation, right? The rise of the big box store. And then they go out of business, and then it's just a wasteland. There's nothing, because then as a small business, you can't get started in this economy these days. Like it costs so much money to create a business, costs so much time and energy to get all your documentation that you need. And then once you open, it's still cheaper to go online. Right, so like you're kind of screwed. Like, what are we?
Unless you got people like Joe and I in the world, where we still like going to places and buying and supporting local business.
What's your version of a local business?
Anything that's local.
You basically just threw a fit about Target against me. Where are you going to shop?
I was more Joe than it was
That's
me.
true. That's
also,
true.
it was a joke and a shot at white women.
Yes,
That's fair. That's fair. That's fair. I
And
also
mostly
know some
white-
Japanese women who really like Target
and
as
light
well.
white. Yeah,
My former exchange student loved Target.
white
What about
women
German
moms.
youths?
Utes love Target, don't they?
White women moms. I think mostly.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, there's not like local clothing stores you can go to. Those don't exist.
I mean, there
Thrift
are.
stores.
Like, you go to downtown Plymouth. There's a bunch of clothing stores there.
yeah, but that's like bougie clothes. Like,
I'm just
it's not
saying.
like, here's a pair of jeans for $50. No,
on the east side. There's a lot of like local owned places. A ton of them.
yeah, maybe so.
Like on DeQuinder, I could think of 3 that I see. on a
Oh
regular
wow,
basis.
good for you, DeQuinder. You say it right. Most people don't.
Who
I'm
doesn't say
from the
DeQuinder,
area?
I know. I'm just joking. A lot of people.
A lot of people
What-
struggle with
outsiders don't.
DeQuindry?
Shaner.
Yes, think
Shaner. People struggle with Shaner
because this isn't it
because
spelled?
it's Shoner.
Yeah,
it's spelled
Shaner.
Shoner.
Yeah,
All right.
I think Shane-
Here's the real test.
Gratiot Avenue.
That's what how
Gresh.
that's how GPS pronounces that.
Oh, what's the street?
I don't know. Kercheval.
No, Kercheval's. That's an easy one.
Michigan Street names.
Why am I had it in my head and it evaporated.
And there's another one that I was thinking of.
Oh, Is it Lasher or Lasser?
Lasser.
People call it Lasher.
I know.
I looked up an article in the very first
I like
road
to
that
call it
popped,
Lasher.
very first road that popped up. DeQuinder Avenue. We should just give people a pronunciation and say, or spell out the word and say, pronounce it for us.
Yeah.
Tell us how it's pronounced.
Oh, that'd be a fun Patreon. Get them involved.
Yeah.
So I was at a work meeting Wednesday this week, and the person presenting his name was Blake. And
Blake?
No matter how many
he
times.
had to be super white.
Oh, yes, he was. From Texas.
That's racist.
Whenever anybody said his name or I read it up there, I just heard Balake.
Balake. Where is Balake at? There's no Balake here today. Yes, sir.
My name's Blake.
The entire time.
Balake.
I could not stop it. And it was not even me trying to be like, hey, I'm funny. No, every time someone said Blake, I'm like, Balake?
See, it's from the same skip, but I always go Blake.
Yeah.
Like when he
Blake.
mocks him.
Yeah.
Yes.
Blake.
So that's from a Key and
Blake.
Peele skip.
Yes.
If you guys have not watched it, it's the substitute teacher, and you need to watch it. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it, you're un-American.
Yeah, it is one of the all-time great sketch comedy skits.
That's true. All right, so moving on from pronunciations.
Did you guys see that there's a Spinal Tap 2 teaser out there?
I didn't know there was even in the making.
I had no idea it was in the making either until I was like, Spinal Tap 2, and I clicked on it.
Did you watch it?
I watched it.
And
it is, by definition, a teaser. There's nothing to it whatsoever.
They turned the amp to 11. I got it on right now.
Yeah, and that's all it is. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
You knew exactly what the movie was just by that. It's simple, and it worked.
Did you see the first one?
No.
I've
seen it in chunks, but never together.
I've never seen Spinal Tap.
It's hilarious.
I've never seen it.
I figure that when I look at that Spinal Tap, I figure that's how the band Steel Panther got their idea.
It could be.
I would bet large sums of money that Spinal Tap was a huge influence on Steel Panther.
Yeah. Yeah, probably.
And for those of you who don't know what Steel Panther is, it's like an 80s glam rock mock tribute band that is incredibly talented but completely vulgar.
Yes.
Inappropriate is what you say. Yes. Yeah, I made the mistake of getting in my car this morning. I was absolutely exhausted. I was tired. And last night, Rob and I went out with some of the September Moms dads.
Yeah. And for those of you who don't know who that is,
it's a long story, but
September sperm donors.
It was a dad group we went out with, and on the ride home, Rob's like, "I'm gonna play some Steel Panther."
Oh boy!
And so I got in the car this morning, and the very first song I heard blaring was this one, "Gang Bang" at the old folks' home.
Ah, yes.
So I was exhausted, and waking up, and I get in my car, my Tesla. And
hallelujah!
And it's just banging.
You rode in his Tesla?
Yeah, I did.
Traitor!
I'm not afraid of death.
Bring it.
What are you gonna
bring the sweet release of Tesla death?
Tesla. I'm really gonna call it a Tesla from now on. Actually, I think that's great. Tesla.
Did you see? You know what that? You know what that's
from him?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's an idiot. Yeah.
I love Tesla. That was so good.
Yeah. So Spinal Tap 2 is coming out. Other things in the news is that we would like to talk about, because we haven't talked about any of the news stuff. Like, for instance,
the Newsies.
I didn't think there was much.
For instance, they're making a Captain America movie.
Didn't they just do that? Didn't it just come out? No. Brave New World?
Captain Planet movie.
Oh.
Oof.
Captain Planet.
Glitch. One of those Tesla glitches.
Captain Planet.
We're in the Matrix. Did they have any casting or anything?
Or did they just announce, hey, we're going to make a Captain Planet
They're
movie?
working on the script right now for it. It's never going to happen. I mean, like,
The
that's
cartoon
such
was-
They're just going down. What haven't we exploited yet?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
we have no original ideas original ideas. I mean, there are tons of original ideas in Hollywood. They just go nowhere. They don't get any acclaim except in Oscar time. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's true.
And then everyone's like, "Oh, I've never seen that movie. I've never seen that." And then everybody goes and watches the Oscar movies.
Yeah.
So the only time that they get any sort of recognition is award season.
Yep.
And immediately following award season, because everyone's like, "Oh, that won a bunch of awards. I should see that."
Yeah. Yeah.
I usually have the opposite approach. Oh, that won a bunch of awards. I don't know if I have any interest in that. Except for you, Oppenheimer.
I feel like for a while there, like the awards got so pretentious, like that the best film was always garbage.
Yeah.
And now they've kind of started to come around again, where it's like the best film actually wins the best film. But it was like to the point where they're like, "You peasants don't know what
don't
good
understand
art is." So
the piano.
We're gonna give the award to this movie where they don't speak at all. It's in black and white, and it's 4.5 hours long.
Oh, jeez.
What movie was that? I'm trying to remember. The Artist, was that the one that was super
Yeah.
long and won the best picture? And I saw it, and I did not think it was that good. I think it was The Artist. Yeah, The Artist. Yeah,
Yeah.
did not like it. Did not like it.
Okay.
Okay. Other news. Other pop culture news. So, do you guys know who Sadie Sink is?
No.
She was in Stranger Things. She plays Max in Stranger
Yes.
Things. She's a redhead. You've never watched Stranger Things.
I watched the first season.
So she was cast in Spider-Man 4 recently.
I didn't know they were making Spider-Man 4 finally.
Yeah, they are. And
Oh, we got news for you, Rob.
Oh,
they're making
Good thing you're
Spider-Man 4.
listening.
Yeah, and apparently the villain is going to be Venom, not Tom Hardy Venom.
aw.
You're right. It's going to be Venom.
Bring me Tom Hardy.
And they're talking about who Sadie Sink could possibly play. And the two rumors are that she's most likely Jean Grey, because that's been a rumor floating around for a while. Or the other rumor was she's playing a variant of MJ from another world.
I'm just tired of the
I'm tired of the
multiverse.
variants of the multiverse.
I'm tired of the
I am too, but
multiverse.
get ready because Secret Wars is coming, man.
I know.
And that's what Secret Wars is. It's multiverse.
I'm just tired of it.
I know. I'm tired of it too. Sadie Sink has a good look, honestly, for MJ. Like there's a picture of Sadie Sink right there.
Yeah, that's a good.
But she could also be a very good MJ as well. I think, or not MJ. I'm sorry, Jean Grey. She could be a good Jean Grey. So I'm interested. I mean, we got a while till Spider-Man 4 comes out.
Yeah.
The thing I will say is none of the Spider-Man films have been a miss for me. A lot of the MC universe the Marvel universe has struggled for me. I mixed it up.
I liked it.
MC. They've been hit and miss lately, and I don't think any of the misses were Spider-Mans.
No, I think all
Even
the
the
Spider-Mans,
even the animated ones, those are
fantastic.
those are really
Those are
good.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really like those.
I still haven't seen the second animated one, but I'll get to it.
Oh, not
Into
into
the
the Spider-Verse.
Whatever the
No.
second one was.
Something the Spider-Verse. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
They're all named too similarly.
Yes.
I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I don't want to just give me 2s and 3s, and then give me a title afterward. What happened to Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country? Just give me that.
Do you want an update on what I'm watching?
No.
Yes.
Since it's absolutely not new.
Yeah, you've had like weeks off. What have you been doing?
We may have new listeners. So what's your trend, Joe?
I don't watch new shit.
No.
I don't like it.
You watch
It-
Little House
it-
on the Prairie.
I love Little House on the Prairie.
Reba.
Seinfeld's I'm always watching Seinfeld.
Home
if it's on.
Improvement?
Home Improvement. They just added Home Improvement to Netflix.
Oh,
yes,
nice.
they did. Two Broke Girls?
I've seen episodes.
Yeah.
I watch
On repeat.
Yeah.
I like Roseanne. I like Family Matters. I like any like sitcoms from the
90s. Like that.
mid to late 80s through the 90s.
Yeah. The golden era.
Even early 2000s.
Which is called TGIF era.
Yeah, or through
And
the-
earlier.
Must see TV era.
I would basically say it's anything pre-Office.
Before the laugh track went away.
Yes.
Multi-camera
So that's
comedy.
really my wheelhouse.
Okay.
For anybody that's new, I don't like new stuff. It's just boring. I don't like it.
Yep.
I don't have time for it. But recently I've started rewatching from the beginning Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
And okay, I love Boy Meets World
Yeah.
for a couple reasons.
Topanga.
It was Topanga's great. It's just a funny show. I love it. So it hits my nostalgia. It hits like it's old. I watched it as a kid. I love it. But I'm also rewatching this from a different perspective.
Yeah.
Because I think it's one of the best coming of age sitcoms ever.
Ever.
Yes. And I think it's top 3.
Other Savage Boy says what?
I said it's top 3, and the other, I think number 1 will always be the Wonder Years.
The Wonder Years.
And it's funny because it's both the Savage Boys.
Savage Boys, yeah.
But I'm rewatching it as like the perspective of an adult who would parent that kid, and sometimes I'm like, "What are you thinking?" And then I'm just like, I don't know. I relate more to Mr. Feeney, and like the dad and the like.
Yeah.
I see it as like inspiration to be a better parent. It's an interesting perspective now that you have kids and grown kids to rewatch something like that. Where it's almost a completely different show to me.
Yeah, I get that.
So
how far into it are you?
I'm towards the end of season 2 right now.
Okay, so they still have the Mr. What was the one teacher that they had at first?
Mr. Turner?
Mr. Turner, yeah.
Mr. Turner's still there.
Turner's still there.
Yep.
Eric's still not an idiot yet. He becomes an idiot.
Yeah, he's not an idiot. He's still pretty like he's
an aloof older brother, but he's not he doesn't do the Feeney call yet.
No. They're not even, I mean, they're in high school, but it's weird because they're in 8th grade.
Yeah.
I think at this point.
Yeah.
Or 7th grade. No, they're 7th grade.
They start off in 7th grade the first season.
Season 1, they're in 6th grade. And then
really?
The high school is like 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay. So he's in high school with Eric.
Yeah. The whole high school complex is 7th through 12th grade.
That's crazy. That would never happen. But, isn't it the same? It's the same.
Unless it was a private school, that would happen.
Yeah, that's probably true. Wasn't it the same set as Bayside High or something like that? Didn't they use the same stage set or something like that? I know it's rearranged, but I thought it was, and I might be crazy. But now that I'm thinking about the
when
stage,
did that show premiere?
1993.
How did I miss it?
Boy Meets World?
Yeah.
I don't
never
know.
watched it.
You were born in what, 78? So you were 15 when it started.
Right.
So would you have wanted to watch?
Would you
a
want
show
to watch
about
a kid about a school, a show
year-old
about
kid?
Probably not. But
Yeah.
what was on around it? Because it seems like I would probably still be watching. Was it TGIF or was it
Family Matters was still on?
I was watching Family Matters to a certain point.
Let me
Step
find
by
out.
Step, I think.
Step by Step was the joint.
Let me find out what it
Because
aired
it was
against.
if it was when I was like 16, I was working every Friday night when I was 16. But I'm almost positive I never watched that show.
It's really good. It was really good.
Yeah, it was on their must see TV block, but I'm trying to find out. Or not must see TV, TGIF block, but I'm trying to find out what it aired around.
It aired against Sister.
I never watched Sister either.
Or was it Sister? I believe it was Sister.
That was Jack A, right? As the mom?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was called TGIF, right?
Yeah.
TV. Let's see if I can find it. TGIF programming blocks. Here we go. Let's find it. Let me go to Boy Meets World.
If you're under the age of 40, we apologize.
Boy. Come on. Boy. Is Boy Meets World not in there? Dang it. I can't type. That's part of the problem.
That's a problem.
Oh, here we go.
You feeling good, Joe? From COVID?
Yeah, I still have a lingering dry cough, which is fine, but I'm starting to get like my energy back and stamina. Like I was wiped out for a while. Like the week that I had it, I felt like death. Like it was bad until about Friday, Saturday. I started to feel like vaguely human.
Yeah.
And then I kept testing. I was testing positive all the way through like Monday. And Monday it wasn't as bad. Like,
which is why we Zoomed last week.
Yep. And so then I called my doctor. I'm like, it's been almost 2 weeks with this. I'm still testing positive, but I have no symptoms really. Mm-hmm. Like, am I contagious? They're like, no, you're not contagious after.
That COVID just loved you.
It did. Well, it was the first time I ever had it.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it lingered longer because of it or what, but was a bummer.
You got it?
I got it.
All right.
So, 93, when Boy Meets World premiered, Family Matters was the first show. Boy Meets World was second. Step by Step was third. And then Hanging with Mr. Cooper slash Sister Sister.
Can I get credit for naming pretty much the entire lineup in 93?
So I watched Step by Step. I watched Mr. Coop. So was there something on another channel at 8:30 I watched instead of that?
Maybe.
I had to be.
Because Boy Meets World stayed in there for 3 seasons. It stayed in that 8:30 slots.
Because originally it's like Full House, Family Matters, Perfect Strangers.
And then
And it's something.
I think 96, 97 is the start of the downfall of TGIF because you still had Family Matters in the first block, right? But the ratings were starting to fall. It was number 50 in the overall Nielsen ratings by 96, 97.
Remember when that was just 1 through 100 was
and
just
then
bangers?
Sabrina the Teenage Witch debuted. Then they had Clueless.
Oh, the series.
Yeah, the series. Okay.
I missed all that.
I think that's the start of it because then the next year, Sabrina, Boy Meets World, Sabrina the Teenage Witch again, and a show called You Wish, and then Teen Angel. So it's done. It's done by then.
Yeah.
Sabrina, Boy Meets World, 2 guys, a girl in a pizza place.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds.
Brothers,
That's right.
Brothers Keepers. Yeah.
2 Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place that's on my cult favorite shows with what's the one that was like one season? It had the massive cast. Like Jason Segel was in it.
Freaks and Geeks.
Freaks and Geeks.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Another great show.
Yeah, and they renamed 2 guys and it just became 2 guys and a girl after a while. They got rid of the pizza
it will
place
always
thing.
be 2 Guys, a Girl in a Pizza Place.
They should just name the pizza place, and I'm in.
Yeah. Trailer Howard was the name of the woman in that one.
Mm-hmm.
The lead. She was the actress. She played Sharon Carter Donnelly.
Never thought we'd go in the deep dive into TGIF.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, it's funny because it dies very quickly once it dies. And I actually think a big part of it is like the same year, one year Mr. Cooper's gone, which was 96. That's out. And then Family Matters is still there the next year, but then it's gone the next year. So within 2 years, you lost 2 of the staples of it, which was Family Matters and Hanging with Mr. Cooper. And then Boy Meets World is kind of holding on, but it's starting to struggle. It's like 58. Its final season, it was number 73 on the Nielsen ratings.
Yeah, it was 99.
Yeah, and then they added like the Hugleys was on there.
Yes.
Out,
Yeah.
Making the Band. I mean, like, yeah, it was a mess. It was a mess. And it looks like in 2000 they abandoned all the family friendly shows and went with because Norm was a show on there.
Norm.
Madigan Man.
Norm.
The Trouble with Normal and Dot Comedy and 2 Guys and a Girl. And then America's Funniest Videos and then Who Wants to Be a Millionaire took over.
I forgot about that.
Yep.
And then it became the block where it was like Grey's Anatomy, right? Remember? Like Grey's Anatomy started to take over and
On
Shark
Friday?
Tank and
Not on Friday.
Not on Friday.
yeah.
No, it's Sundays.
Oh, Grey's Anatomy repeats. That's what they did. Okay.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Super Nanny, Extreme Makeover. Like,
Is that Fran Drescher's nanny, but super?
Yeah, because ABC had their Sunday nights was Grey's and Desperate Housewives.
yes. Yes.
And they just pulled numbers.
They pulled huge numbers. Yeah.
And they also had Lost during that time too.
They had
Thursdays.
target. They had target numbers right there.
Thursdays or Wednesdays.
That was a
Lost.
target demographic. No
Yep.
pun intended.
They knew
Yes.
what they were. Yeah.
Actually, pun intended.
Yes.
I really just connected the dots on what you were
Seriously?
doing there. Yeah.
All right.
Bullseye. Target.
What did they call? Oh, I swear ABC called it something.
We'd be remiss if we don't talk about, when you're thinking, Joe, if we didn't briefly talk about Daredevil episode 3.
It was good.
It was good.
There you go.
It was good. The show is still missing something the other show had, which is I think the patience of the storytelling.
Yeah, it's not very patient. It's too quick.
And then we got something in the mail today.
Okay.
Or not today. So it probably came earlier this week, but it got in the mailbox and it kind of went down and I never saw it, like when you reach in blind and you grab stuff
Oh, it
out.
went flat on the bottom?
So I pulled this out and we had met Rachel and Patrick on the cruise.
You two did on the
On
excursion,
the
right?
excursion. And then you met them later.
Yes. Yep.
And she had this fantastic sticker on there, that the Ryza one that we'll show you here.
That
in
now
the video.
dons my lappy top.
Yep. And I said, that's cool. And she said, well, I'll ship them to you. And
She did.
I honestly, I'm not going to lie, never thought that would happen.
But see, this speaks to like what we talked about last week about the Star Trek cruise. People are genuine and kind
Yes.
and sweet on that. Like, it was unlike an experience I've ever had. And meeting people like Rachel and Patrick and Brooke and Cassie and Barb and Derek and like all these
And
people.
finally getting to meet Alejandra and her husband.
And Alejandra, yes. Gosh, it was so great to get together with them in person. And I'm like, I would love it if we lived closer, but they live in Canada. Actually, no, they live in Canada now. We used to be able to hate on Canada. Right now, I feel like Canada needs our love because,
I don't think Canada needs shit from us.
I still hate Canada.
Yeah, but like,
But with love. I hate them with love.
yeah. I feel like they need our support a little bit because our government is a little hostile towards them.
Yeah. Or
We would be
government's
remiss if we named all the good people we met, but we didn't name Emery and Rena, the two hot tub douchebags.
What? Oh, do we tell that on Patreon or we tell that here?
No,
care.
I don't want to tell that story.
Well, I just wanted.
Oh, I kind of want to fight
name
them.
yeah,
I do want to fight those two.
that was not cool. But
Yeah.
whatever.
They should have been kicked off the cruise for
Whatever.
being mean to
judging-
my pretend husband.
judging someone based without any of the knowledge or
They were
feedback.
very
They
judgmental.
were very judgmental on that moment. But maybe I hit close to home on something for them. You never know.
I don't care. There's no excuse for
Look at you acting with grace.
Yeah.
I try.
it. It's like almost like you're a pastor or
I
something.
try. Yep.
So it was at the bottom, and I picked it up originally. I'm like, New Albany, that's near Columbus. This could be anthrax.
It was anthrax.
I was afraid to open it. But then the stickers are in there. So we got a bunch of stickers from them. So thank you if you're listening.
Wait, let me see that real
Yeah.
quick. All right, I have a growing concern.
Sure.
We have a growing listenership in Ohio. This is very concerning to me.
Yeah.
We have a large Ohio listenership. You know why, though? Here's why. There is nothing of value in Ohio. So
That's true.
they have to go
That's true.
outside of the state to find.
See?
To find.
I like what you did
Define
with
joy.
So we
And
should
to be fair-
we should be okay with this. We're
Rachel and Patrick are trying to move to Hawaii.
we're proselytizing.
as
trying to
far
get
away
out.
from Ohio as they possibly
They're
can
trying to get out.
Gentlemen, we're proselytizing for getting out of Ohio. Basically, we're saying, look at all the good things that happen outside of your stinkhole of a state, right?
That's true.
So there you go.
In
You
the
gotta
land of low speed limits.
look- Gosh,
In the land of nice roads. Wait, that's a compliment.
that is a compliment. And the land of cool cities like Columbus. Oh gosh, I hate that I have to say that, but it's true. Columbus.
It's not. It's a shithole.
No, you don't admit it out loud while you're recording, Nick.
That's
the
true.
hell's
I'm
wrong with you?
Sorry, Columbus sucks.
It's terrible.
Columbus is the worst.
Terrible.
All right, can we talk about Star Trek?
Yes, but I just wanted to say thank you
Thank you.
because those are dope.
Thank you. They're dope.
Thank you.
I didn't even tease what episodes we were talking about today.
Nobody cares.
No one cares.
People care. People
true.
care.
Yeah.
People care. We're talking about 2 episodes of Star Trek today. We're talking about First Contact and Galaxy's Child.
I hope it's the movie because that's what I watched.
Oh, that movie is so good. First Contact is a pretty solid. Well, I shouldn't say what episode. I shouldn't tease that.
What are you
I'm
doing?
out of practice. It's been weeks.
What are you doing, man?
It's been weeks.
First, you're complimenting Ohio on film.
wasn't complimenting-
And now you're busting your load right here up front.
Okay, so Riker has been captured.
I guess we're doing listener feedback at the end then. That's fine. Stay tuned. Stay
Listener
tuned. Ed.
feedback at the end. Okay.
Stay tuned.
Okay. All right. So we are on this planet of Melkor where
That was
Riker
perfect
has been
timing.
captured and he's in disguise as the alien, and the aliens are working on him. They're like, "Oh my gosh, what is this? This guy cannot be one of us." Turns out Riker was sent there to observe the planet because they're getting ready to make first contact with them because they've developed warp drive. So they're getting ready to make contact. But they're trying to get Riker back. So Picard has to move in quickly and introduce himself. And he introduces himself to a scientist who basically says to them, our people are not going to be ready. You got to be careful in how you introduce yourself. When you go talk to our president of the world, make sure you don't tell him that you've been spying on us, because if you do, they're not going to trust us. The Secretary of Defense for there is like, yeah, we need to be your defense. He's like, don't invade our planets. I don't want any aliens. We need to stick with the traditional old ways. And so when Picard goes to meet the president's all excited, and he's like, this is really cool. I'm super excited about this. But then they find out about Riker being there, and then that's not as cool. He's a little upset about it. The Secretary of Defense tries to go and get himself murdered by Riker so he can frame Riker so that they don't initiate first contact procedures and they stay isolated as their own planet. By the end of the episode, the president realizes we should not initiate first contact yet. We're not ready. There's too many people who are stuck in the past, and if you initiate contact now, it'll throw our society up into a mess. And Picard says, "Oh well, so sad. Peace out. Get off my ship." But the girl can stay. The scientist says, "I want to stay with you," and he's like, "Okay, give her a quarters." End.
Finn.
All right, so. There is a guest star in this episode.
There is. Did you catch who it was?
Who? The lady?
Which lady?
The lady that wanted Riker to bang her.
Yes.
Did you catch who that was?
Who is it? Was she in? Hold on.
You want a hint?
Was she in a sitcom?
Yes.
Was she in Frasier?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then I know.
And she was in another show related to Frasier before that.
Called.
Oh yes.
Cheers.
It was Cheers. Yes.
Cheers.
Yep.
Lilith.
Yes.
Baby New Earth, is that her name?
I can't remember.
Anyway, yeah, she was in it.
I knew from the nose and the mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very small bit role.
Very cameo in and out. Nope. Actually, every pun intended.
Yeah, she
just wants to bang the alien and leave.
We'll get there.
That was freaking hilarious.
That was great.
Though.
We'll get there.
That was
a little on the nose for.
She's like, she knew her audience.
It was a little too meta for me.
Yeah. It was a little too.
Listen, I just want you to bang me.
Listen, I've always wanted to sleep with an alien. All right.
We'll get there.
Cool. Our biologies might not line up. I don't care.
Doesn't matter. Put it wherever you need.
Yeah, exactly. Just make it happen. We don't need to get there. We're there.
Okay, let's do it. So
how do you give handies with those fins?
I don't know. Well, he had well, that's why
people use feet.
But feet still have toes. You can still articulate a.
I don't know.
Maybe, I mean, I don't know. But anyway, like with her, she saw his hand. She's like, wait, you've got options. Yeah. Give me the fucking salute, please.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
So, of all people, Riker. Right place, right time, Riker.
And I gotta say, can I be a bit vain here?
Sure.
Yeah. Riker wasn't looking his best either. He looked a little heavy.
You did.
Not. I'm not talking about like the makeup, like his face. Physically, he looked heavier than he normally.
He looked
did.
heavy.
I don't know what it was.
It looked like he had a lot of water weight on him. Honestly,
it did.
Maybe he was just coming off the Star Trek cruise.
Maybe he came off the Star Trek cruise, drank way too much alcohol.
Yeah. That's true.
I don't know, but yeah.
Did that throw you for a loop when she was like, "I can help you get out of here, but you need to bang me"?
And I laughed. And it didn't throw me for a loop. I just laughed. I'm like,
did you remember that?
I did not remember that at all.
I just love to like he's
at first he's like, no, like really.
And then
my
he's like,
favorite part is, are you going to get to the aftermath?
Oh, I was going to say the part where he's like, there are way differences in the way my people make love, and she's like, I can't wait to learn.
Yes, teach me the ways of the boner.
Teach me the ways, man.
My favorite part was how it immediately just reverted to like male and female like post-sex trope.
Yeah,
it was like, will I ever see you again? He's like,
I'll call you.
I'll call you, bitch. If I'm ever around.
He's trying to think the right thing to say. He's like,
And then
hey,
he's
look.
like bouncing out of it, and then he tries to run away and gets caught after like 2 minutes. So it's like,
I just love that he literally said, if I'm ever around here again, I'll call you. Hey, listen, I'll call you.
When I'm on your side of the galaxy.
Yeah. I was like, does she know what calling is? He's like, hey, look, I'll call you. And she's like, you don't have to. Just
she was like, I just banged an alien. That's all I wanted out of this.
My gosh,
she was DTF.
Down to frakes.
Nice.
Yeah, she was down to frakes, man.
That was a nice moment of levity. Like I imagine people take issue with that whole scene, but it was for what it was. It's just supposed to be fun.
I thought it was hilarious.
I think it's reflective of the way some people could be, right? I can see that happening.
100%.
Holy crap!
I bet you aliens would have roadies.
Oh yeah.
What if there were like really hot aliens though?
Here's my question.
I'm in.
If it's an alien and you sleep with an alien, is it cheating if you're married?
Yeah,
Why?
because it's still a person-ish.
It's not a person. It's an alien.
Oh,
It's an entity.
Oh, really?
Just
Really?
kidding.
Aliens ain't people?
I mean, not as we know.
Spock's not a person?
Are people defined as humans or are people defined as
People, I imagine.
life forms?
No, because you wouldn't call dolphins people.
Yeah,
Right.
dolphins
I would
are
say
good
it's
people.
intelligent life forms, like a
That
humanoid.
can form society
Yeah.
and language and culture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Well,
that was
Because he was talking about in this episode, his people aren't ready.
my peeps.
Those are people, man.
Those are my peeps.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's cheating.
I mean,
But sometimes you have to do things for the greater good
and
of the Federation.
and he had to sleep with Lilith.
Yeah.
Hey, you want to find out how the fins work?
My question is,
Yeah,
why?
you kind of want to. That's a good question. We could deep dive into that alone.
Yeah.
That's for Patreon.
Show me how them fins work, baby.
Yeah, he's like, he might actually go back.
What you do with those fins?
So apparently that role was written specifically for her.
Really?
Yeah, I just looked that up. It
Why?
Was written
Because she
To
was
say
married.
why?
Because she was married to Frasier for so long, and he was a stick in the mud.
Yeah, well,
And she was just like, "I'll bang
she later
anything."
appears in a 5th season episode as well, Cause and Effect with Kelsey Grammer as well.
She appears in that episode too?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. I know he was in it.
Space Frasier.
And then the entire principal cast of Frasier appears in a skit with Kate Mulgrew.
Yeah.
For the Star Trek 30 Years and Beyond. So,
I remember that.
yeah. But you know, it's interesting. Frakes talks about, I'm not sure that the writing in this episode was as good as it could have been. I really liked the story, but it had loopholes. It was loaded with great actors. But it's funny. So, because now let's start talking about the episode, because he's talking about it wasn't written as well as he thought it was. I thought it was a pretty solid episode.
I did too.
I did too.
In the scheme of things, like what they were covering and the real issues that you face in First
And
Contact and the moral dilemmas of what First Contact
And they
is.
did a nice job kind of expanding upon that finally, and what the procedures are and what the Prime Directive and all this. They did a nice job with, I think, everything in it.
Right.
In an hour, it's could have easily been 2 hours, but in an hour, that was pretty impressive.
They explained exactly why the first Contact is the way it is, talking about how, like, in the past we would just go show up and it would always have disastrous consequences. And when he talks about how, like, there was a decision that we were going to integrate ourselves in society and spy, and he fully admits he doesn't love the decision, but it was a necessary evil.
that's
Which
a shout out.
Like, I mean, that's such a cool thing, which in a weird way actually is kind of planting the seeds for an idea of a Section 31, right? We have to spy on this society and for the greater good.
Right.
That's what Section 31 is about, right?
Section 31 is more so for nefarious things they didn't want to admit.
But it's for the greater good of the Federation,
Yeah.
right? This kind of is too.
Have you seen Section 31, the movie? Drop your review below.
It sucks.
Yeah. You haven't
Just
seen it.
put a garbage
Hated it.
put a garbage can below when like underneath your
Yeah.
edit a garbage can in there. Please.
Oh yeah, like how you have the recycle bin in Windows as well. You can drop
Yep.
the garbage in there. Yep. Do it. So yeah, go ahead.
I was just saying I liked all of I just liked how I thought it was a pretty fairly well written episode. I'm not sure the loopholes he's talking about.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what those could be. Maybe like the idea of people knowing that he was on the planet, but I think the president at the end explained it pretty well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
at first people will create all these stories, but then they'll just fade away.
But I also liked how kind of muddy the explanations got in that, like when he shot the guy,
Yeah.
like, yeah, that would look bad. Like not from the surface, it would all look bad.
Yeah.
Like if you were an outside observer, you're like, this does not look good.
Right.
But there was no ill intent.
Right.
And the comment about like all conquerors say that they have no ill intent.
Yeah.
Or we come as your friend.
Yeah.
It's
Exactly.
like, yeah. How would you as the people being observed or like overtaken or whatever, like how would you know if someone has ill intent or not
You don't, right?
Yeah.
before you trust them?
Yeah,
Yep.
exactly. You have to build that trust.
So then, and that's what Picard said. Trust takes time.
Yep. But then he has lied to him already at that point. Like if you're that other planet, and he's like, well, you'll just have to trust us. We have good intent. Trust us. Trust us. Is there anything you're hiding? No. We're here. And oh, by the way, we have spies on your planet, and
maybe those are the loopholes because.
I think that's some of the loopholes. I also think so when he shot the guy, it's obvious that Riker was incapable of doing that.
Yeah, like he could barely stay awake.
Yeah, he didn't have his facilities about him.
But he did. He was capable of setting it to stun.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Stunning.
Set your phasers to fabulous. Yeah, he was not capable of shooting, and they could have easily solved that by like he was healing up, and then there was a fight over the phaser, and something happens where the other guy gets shot, and somehow Riker gets shot, and that's why they need to rush in to save him.
Yeah, and the medical
end.
professionals are the ones going, he shot him. I mean, you know what conditioning he's in. Come on.
Well, but
I thought he
again,
was-
if they're ruled by fear,
Yeah.
your first instinct isn't to go to the most likely scenario; it's to go to the most ridiculous scenario, which is
Of course.
our
Or
country
what's
today.
in front of your face? I understand that.
Yeah. It's the same thing with our country. When fear rules, you look for absurd reasons why things are happening as opposed to the most logical reason why things
Well,
are
they kind of addressed that in this episode. A lot of the conservatism versus, I don't even know how they addressed it, how they said it in here, but they're like our old ways. They talk about the present, like they love you, so they've gone with some of your policies in this, but this is too much.
This is too far, right? And here's her pushing for them to go full speed ahead on the warp. I mean, there is something interesting to that. Like when you push a society too hard, even if it's the right decision, it can be the wrong move.
Yeah.
You have to be careful. It's like the equivalent of like when you start a new job, or like for pastors when we started new churches, one of the big things they say is don't go in there and shake everything up right away.
It's a terrible idea.
Get to know the people. For pastors, they say wait a year before you make major changes. Build trust, and then you make your changes after that.
Then you pull the rug right out.
And then you
from
pull
underneath
it. But if you do it right away, like even if the ideas are great, you don't have the trust, you don't have the relationships, you don't have the capital to survive something like that. And it's even the same thing with this woman pushing for the warp drive. It's like, well, maybe they need to invest more in education. If their whole society thinks they're the
center of the universe.
center of the universe, I think warp drive is probably not a great idea right now.
I liked who the guy's quote. What was his title? It
Prime
was
Minister? Chancellor.
Yeah.
Galron.
When he said basically like I woke up thinking I was the center of the universe, and I found out I was just a voice in a chorus, but it was still a good day.
Yeah.
Like when he was like
that
how
is a good line.
It's
Yeah.
a good line.
yeah.
That guy
And
kind of sounded like the Unsolved Mysteries guy, by the way.
Okay. That's how I knew who the woman was,
Okay.
because I'm like, okay, she looks familiar, but I didn't Google it at the time. And then that guy sounded very close to Robert Stack.
I couldn't think of his name. Thank you.
And I was like, okay, I have to know, because it doesn't.
He didn't look like Robert Stack.
He didn't look like Robert Stack, but makeup can do some things.
Yeah.
He was a little more filled out in the face.
Rounded.
Robert Stack was a little more sunk, like a little more.
Yeah.
Ozempic.
Yeah. It was not Robert Stack, but I had the same thought. I'm like, ooh.
I'm listening to this guy's
is
voice,
like,
and I'm like, man, is this like?
not the entire time though. At some points, I'm like, that's really close.
Right. Right.
And then I had it was a good day in my head. Ice Cube.
Nice. I like the quote where, and I thought about our world. We listen from afar. We listen to your transmissions, blah blah blah, your pop culture, and start making us. And I'm like,
please don't judge us by that.
I thought, I'm like, ooh, good Lord, they watch our TV or our music or what?
Yeah.
Woo!
Yeah. Right.
I was like, God, do they listen to their Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
They should.
Sure. Yeah.
They're like, wait a second, we're going down there.
Yeah. This was a fascinating episode too, in the sense that most of the cast does not really appear, and if they do, it's only a scene or two.
So there's rules when Roddenberry had rules for the way they did Next Generation. One of it was it's focused on the cast, right?
Right.
So they broke a lot of rules for this episode to do this episode, which is, I mean, you didn't see Picard or any of the Next Generation crew besides Riker until Picard and Troy beam down to talk to that scientist.
Right.
And so storytelling wise, that's excellent because it lets you get to know these people to kind of get their mindset on things. You got to know these people so you can actually kind of not cared for lack of a better word about these people and kind of see what they were going through.
Yeah.
And even furthermore, when they beamed, so that scene where they beamed down to talk to that scientist was there pushing buttons for a good couple seconds before Troy and Picard ever beamed down. Never happened on current TV. Let that silence sit.
Yeah.
Never happened. So they did a really good job allowing that to breathe before they brought the TNG crew down.
Yeah. Well, and even in the end, you see Dr. Crusher just for a scene or two, right? When initially on the planet, seeing him, and then
I'm a doctor. Don't be
alarmed.
Don't be alarmed.
Don't be alarmed.
Yeah.
I'm a doctor. It's like you're an alien, though. So,
Yeah.
like aliens beam down to my planet, and they're like, "Don't worry, I'm here to help you." Screw you.
Hey, don't worry
alien.
about it. I'm good.
Yeah, we're good. We're good. And then I think they did a really good job. This was one of the first times where I'm like, Deanna's job makes sense, right?
Yep.
First contact procedures, yes, it needs to be but also, why isn't there a security officer with them?
Because they want to bring down Worf because...
Well, okay, don't bring down Worf,
Yeah.
but bring down a security officer. Like, you need to be, you can't just show up like... And they already know they're a xenophobic species. They're a very isolated...
But they haven't shown to be hostile. And
Well,
maybe
and
maybe it
maybe
was a show of good faith, like of good diplomacy. Like, we're not going to... If you come down with a security officer with weapons...
Yeah, and maybe this... Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just like a... I don't know. It just makes you seem like you're nervous or anxious, and
there's more to the story.
You're almost like you're prepared for some sort of conflict, rather than like we're just going down for diplomacy and to get our guy. Like,
and maybe the psych profile they worked up on this scientist said you don't need to bring the security officer.
Well, that makes sense with the scientist. I don't think it makes as much sense with the president, like beaming into basically his office.
Picard was like, I'm going to whoop his ass if he tries to do something stupid.
But then again, you pick two characters that aren't very physically intimidating, right? Like this woman shows up in a skin-tight cat suit. You're like, what are they going to do?
Well, that was the part of the idea.
But if you've ever seen the movie Species, Natasha Henstridge was capable of some crazy stuff in that movie. You remember that movie?
I do remember that movie.
I do remember that movie.
So don't trust
I haven't heard that name since that movie.
Oh, yeah.
Species 2 and 3 and 4 probably, because I think that's the only career she had.
That'd be nice.
But also,
I knew you were going to go to the internet.
But also, so during Riker's escape after the coitus...
Nice.
The coitus.
Coitus. All right, Sheldon.
I watched a little Big Bang Theory too.
Yeah, I do like Big. I love
like there was nobody had a weapon. It was all hand-to-hand combat.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You would think if there was any sort of security in that place, they might have a phaser or anything. So
maybe there's like a law that on that planet you can't have it in a hospital.
Maybe. So
I'm trying.
So like if they were doing reconnaissance, then they might understand like they don't really use weapons. There's no need for escalation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because they've been there for years, right? According to them. So they should have gathered quite a bit of information by now.
Maybe they watched the Batman Begins. What about escalation? What he talks about? No, never mind. Gary Oldman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I'll cut it into the video.
What about escalation?
Escalation.
We start carrying semi-automatics, they buy automatics. We start wearing Kevlar, they buy armor-piercing rounds.
Man.
And you're wearing a mask, jumping off rooftops. Now take this guy. Armed robbery, double homicide. Got a taste for the theatrical like you. Leaves a calling card.
Do it.
You start wearing hockey pads.
You start wearing masks. They bring guns.
They bring guns.
Yeah.
They bring guns and AK-47s.
I love them.
Big guns.
I love that movie.
Oh, there's one other lead I need you to look into. Guy has a flair for the dramatic.
Nice.
Joker
card.
I'll look into it. One more thing. I never said thank you.
And you never will.
And you never will. I'm Batman.
Do you notice how they're the center of the universe? But during a conversation the president or the chancellor with Picard was having, he called it Malcor 3.
Well, it's
You
the
did.
third planet in the Melkor system.
But if you're the center of the universe, are you naming your planet Malcor 3?
Well,
Are we naming the Earth Earth 3?
It's Earth 1.
I know,
It's
but
the
no.
only Earth.
But exactly.
Welcome to Earth.
We're not calling us
Earth.
number 3.
Bro, it's Earth
Because we're the
Prime.
third planet in the solar system, right?
Earth
Yeah.
Prime.
Earth Prime.
It's
It's just
Earth.
It's just Earth.
and maybe if you want to try to justify it, that's the way the universal translator did it.
Maybe.
But I watched that scene and I'm like, did he just call it Malcor 3?
There's one of your leaps. Malcor 3. Why would you be Malcor 3?
That's a loophole.
Yeah.
That's what Frakes is talking
there
about.
you go.
Malcolm
That's-
3.
We got you, Frakes.
We got you, boo. We got you, boo. Anything else from this episode stand out to you? I mean,
Oh, that was a really well executed episode.
I thought it was a well-executed episode. I think it's a great first contact episode. I think it shows the dangers of it. I don't think any character acted out of like where you're like, oh my gosh, they're absurd, right? Like
No.
even the defense minister. Like,
I think the most absurd
thought
thing
he-
was like, if I'll help you escape, I'll bang you.
yeah, that's true. That's
That was the most.
I think there might be that person out there though in a hospital.
But you know what's so funny about that? That mattered absolutely nothing to the story.
And there's a lot of failure here.
They could have removed that, and it would not have changed a single thing in that episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it would have removed some of the best comedy we've had all season.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But that's what's like. They still could have found a way to make that comedic scene, but still found a way to bring her character in to add closure to the story. But I'm assuming it was like a one-day film. Like
Yeah.
like she came in for a couple hours. And
I just found it hilarious that she was like, I'll help you get out if you bang me. And then
And she
was
starts
like,
immediately clearing the bed.
and then she was like, will I ever see you again? He's like, yeah, I'll call you.
I'll call you.
Let me get the hell out of here.
Right. And his escape lasted all of 2 minutes too. That's the best part.
I know.
And in the long run, the Federation, the characters didn't win in the long run because the plant told them to booger off.
Here's a question. So he's having sex with this alien who doesn't know what sex with a human is like. Let's say he's very, very, very quick. He could be like, no, this is the way all humans do it. And it's really a great honor when it's...
I don't know. She seemed like she was kind of happy afterwards.
She had she did like a thing. It was almost like a shiver after he left.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? It was
Yeah.
it's
like, so the way their hands were on that planet, it's like the French flipper twist from
Oh, yes.
Batman Returns.
Yes.
Let me show you my flipper twist.
Oh, okay. Good episode. We're moving on then?
Yeah, I gave it a 6.9.
Yeah, you did.
We're moving on to Destiny's Child. Dr. Leah Brahms is coming on the ship. And Geordi is super excited because he created a hologram of her.
Yeah, she's coming on the ship.
Yeah, he created a hologram of her, and they fell in love. And when he meets her in IRL,
Really?
they don't get along. They don't get along at all because she's kind of mean. And it's a whole like back and forth about them not getting along and fighting and all that. And Geordi's like, "Look, I just really like you. I want to go out with you." And she's like, "Bro, I'm married," and he never knew that, so he's upset. But in all of this upsetness, she goes on the holodeck one day, and she finds the program where he had created Leah Brahms, and she is like, he walks into her watching Leah Brahms like basically fawn over Geordi and be obsessed with Geordi, and she's like, "This is an invasion of privacy," blah 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 blah. But Geordi totally gaslights her.
Yes,
and
he
makes
did.
it her fault.
Oh yeah, that was
totally gaslights her. Oh my gosh. Oh, we'll get into that in a minute. But Geordi gaslights her, and she's like, "You're right. I'm sorry. Let's be friends." And they're friends. Meanwhile, the Enterprise accidentally kills a space mama, and it births a baby. And when the baby comes out, it links up to the Enterprise, and they have to figure out a way to get it off the Enterprise.
Suckles on the
It
Enterprise.
suckles the Enterprise, and they figure out how to get it off the ship.
Enterprise is thick.
Yeah.
that boy thick.
She thick. All right.
Suckling,
And eventually they get it
suckling
off.
the Enterprise's teat.
Yeah, and eventually they get it off, and it meets some other space aliens.
They
So
weaned off
let's
the
start with
teat.
let's start with that story, the alien baby thing. Okay. So initially there's this big space creature, and it's kind of attacking the Enterprise, and he's like, "I don't know what we're supposed to do. Do a low phaser stun on it." And it kills the creature. And Picard is like the most devastated.
I've never
anyone
seen him so distraught.
like distraught over. Oh, I can't believe I did this, bro.
It would.
I think that was realistic for his character, though.
Yeah,
I really do.
I agree.
I mean, I
that would be
do,
a
but-
major fuck up.
Because that dude's an explorer. That's all he wants to do is seek out new life and new
And he
civilizations.
immediately steps on the animals and kills the animals.
Yeah, he just killed the whole one, and because he didn't know what to do,
Yeah,
and that was the reaction.
Yeah.
He didn't know a little bit of a phaser blast was going to wipe it out.
Shoot it.
So in his eyes, he failed, man. His primary mission. So I
Yeah.
think that was very realistic for that character.
Well, and I love how like the crew is like, Captain, you did nothing wrong. You followed all regulations. And he's like, yeah, but this space alien's still dead.
Yeah,
I'm
take that.
sad. No, yeah, he's sad. But then space alien has baby, and they give it a cesarean section,
Yep.
and they show it in gory detail.
Yeah.
Super gory, blood and guts everywhere.
Not really.
No,
No, not at all.
Like really
It
bad.
was pretty
80s
it was actually,
it was like really bad early 90s CGI.
yeah, it was. It was.
but it was
really
good
bad.
for the time, probably.
It's not good when you have like a high def TV.
But on a CCT,
Yeah.
Yeah, when it was probably scrambly and
I mean, it was like this big, and yeah, that probably looked like banging.
yeah,
Probably fine.
probably did.
Yeah.
Probably looked good. I can't imagine people pausing it and being like, "Where's the cervix on this creature?" I just can't imagine that back in the day.
I'm sure there's something like, I don't see a cervix on this creature. I don't know.
This is not dilated properly.
It made me hungry. It looked like ravioli.
It did. Oh man.
I'm glad somebody else thought that.
Yeah.
Because I was like,
I was trying
I'm
to
really
pick-
hungry. This looks like ravioli.
I'm gonna go get a roast beef sandwich.
I was real. I really want to eat that
Yeah.
every time I sit.
or space alien. I do.
I love Arby's.
I haven't had ravioli in years.
Really?
No,
Oh
good.
man, it's
like
good.
ravioli from the can, where it's got
Oh.
that slightly metallic taste to it.
But back to eating
All right,
roast beef.
Eating beef.
So, yeah. So, you think his reaction is realistic?
I do think his
how
reaction
broke
to
down
that-
and devastated he
to
was
that character. I absolutely do.
You think he would have been fine with it? I don't think. he would've
Oops.
been. Yeah.
They also ditched the poor infant in a field. They're like, whatever, it'll be fine on its own. I mean, what are
Like,
they gonna?
all right, birth is over. Let's go.
What are they gonna do? Right?
One thing that's consistent through
You're
this
like a
entire
deadbeat
series
dad.
is Picard hates kids.
He does.
Yes. Of
rid that
any
kid-
species.
Yes.
Get rid of that kid as quick as possible.
F this kid.
Yeah.
And see, he was proven right because that thing just wanted to latch on.
Yep.
Yeah. And it just milks them for all he's worth.
Yep.
Yep.
Takes all their energy.
It slowly
and gives nothing in return.
and slowly
Exactly.
tries to kill him.
And yeah,
Sound like a kid to you?
it sounds like a child.
Picard hates kids for the reason.
Picard hates kid. And so what does he do?
I love you guys.
The thing that all responsible parents do, they take that child and they drop it at the fire station and run away.
Bye.
Which is basically what they did.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Would drop this kid at the fire station. This kid's okay because it can eat, so it must be okay. It's clearly no other ship is going to show up and blast it because that's not happened recently. So,
Okay. I have a question.
Yeah.
We haven't talked about Leah Brahms yet.
No.
So I don't want to. I mean,
Shall we shift to that part of the conversation? Because is there
Sure,
anything
because-
more to discuss with this alien?
it's
Not
well,
really.
I have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
And we'll discuss Leah afterwards. But how the fuck did she get involved? She was not part of the story in the beginning. She had no idea what they were doing with the alien.
Yeah.
Right. And then all of a sudden she's in afterwards. She's like in meetings, like giving ideas, like how they should solve this.
She's one of the smartest engineers.
Yeah,
known
I mean,
to
I understand.
humanity.
I guess I understand that, but like, I don't.
I can see where
I was
you're
like,
going,
What is she doing here? Who cares?
but with all the modifications to the ship, and she's the one that figured out really how to sour the milk in the long run. Because I mean, Geordi had the idea, I think, but she kind of helped nurture it along.
Sour
As an
milk.
engineer, I get it because she's also shadowing LaForge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I mean, I'm sure you've worked with people where you have a shadow and they literally follow
Yeah.
you around. I had that on Monday. It's going to be super. So it could have been that situation too.
Yeah. It was. I was just like, what is she doing here?
Yeah.
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 Leah Brahms,
Leah Brahms.
Leah Brahms.
the real Leah Brahms.
The real
real
one.
Leah
The real deal.
Brahms.
She
Okay.
came in hot.
Right away, you're the one messing with my ship, my engines.
Screwed up my engines.
Like right away, man. She comes in hot to handle.
Oh, for our new listeners, Nick hates women.
Yes, it's also true.
it's not true. I don't hate women.
You just think they're handicapped
That's not
because they're women.
No, that's not even true. I said they live with societal disadvantages because men.
You're never gonna live that down.
No, I'm not.
If you want to, what episode was that?
No, we don't need to worry about that. It was a misspeak. It was not. Meant,
100% it was a misspeak. I will admit that all day
it was
long.
Not meant to.
I
be.
won't.
Episode 202. If you want to watch a huge misspeak,
No one wants to hear that.
that guy is a gem.
No one wants to hear that. So Leah Brahms, Leia,
Leia, because it was like the
Princess?
Star Wars chick, isn't it? The
Princess
name.
Leia, yeah, Princess Leia Brahms.
I wonder if that was a shout out to that other franchise.
Okay,
I think it's okay. I have an issue then.
okay,
I think it's Leah.
you do.
Yeah, Leia is Leia.
I think they can both be spelled the same, and have
We'll go to the
different
highlight tape later.
pronunciations. So
Leah.
back to this, Leia. So what is Geordi's thought process? Like, you created a holographic version of her and changed some of her personality traits. I remember in that episode, he does change some of
He
her
didn't
personality.
change it. He said, ask the computer to assimilate what her personality would be and rope it into the program.
But didn't he make some change? No. Okay.
I know his exact thought process, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, it's not.
But regardless, like, she actually shows up on the ship. He thinks she's going to be exactly like her hologram.
Well, Geordi hasn't.
She looked like it.
I mean, Geordi hasn't had the best decision making in the world of women. So
No, he's terrible.
it's also feasible for his character to go, she can be just like the computer. Because he spends a lot of time with computers and engines and things like that. So it's also, maybe they didn't expect the same, but he expected similar. And he obviously did not get that.
We're led to believe, though, that he hasn't used this holodeck simulation since Booby Trap.
Correct.
Yeah. But my thing is, like, when she walks in, he's like, "Oh, Geordi, I love you. You're magnificent."
I don't think it said all that.
Yeah, it did. It was like,
said like when you're touching these engines,
when you're touching these engines, you're touching me.
hot.
Okay, they were not like that in Booby Trap
Yeah,
at
they were.
all.
Absolutely, at the end of Booby Trap, that was used.
I don't remember that.
You could
I don't
if you go
remember.
to like fandom, you could pull up quotes from that, and it's probably in there.
No, you don't watch he doesn't watch the episodes.
Yeah, he doesn't. He watches them in like while
So
he's on his
Geordi's
phone.
thought process is basically, I have approximated this person so closely.
And
I
he's-
know all the information.
and he's idealized her, right?
Yes.
he's been using that in the Spank Bank for years.
So in his mind, he's already played out many of these scenarios, and he knows the information, and he's going to use all this to his advantage to
She does say that now.
like
Scoreboard.
to court her
Yeah.
in a very expedited way.
Yes.
Because he already knows the information.
He thinks he's Michael Jordan on other teams. He's got
and
the
he's
information.
going to get her quicker than he normally would, because he's
I know what her engines
got
feel like. Sup?
he took all the hard part out, which is
Getting to know the person.
yes, talking to women.
Yeah.
That's the hard part.
Yeah, he's like, I know what you like to eat. I know what you like to do. I know.
Yeah, he's
all
like,
this.
oh, making tortellini or whatever.
Yeah, whatever the
he
heck
said.
it was.
I love it.
I
It's my
love it.
favorite.
It's my oh, you don't
Okay.
say.
You
No
don't
shit,
say.
huh?
But from her point of view, how creepy is all that?
Oh my gosh, everything about that. is
Oh
creepy.
my god!
That would be incredibly creepy to go through that episode, and then he's like, "Hey, I know you like tortellini. I'm gonna make." Or he didn't say it. He's like,
No.
I make a mean tortellini." Or
Yeah,
what?
I
know it's
love
not.
it. And he goes, "I know."
He's like,
Oh no!
he goes, "Oh,
look at that!"
Yeah, look at that. No shit, huh?" And then all this other stuff, and then she gets access and finds his spank bank, and then it all makes sense. I would be freaked out too.
Heck
And-
yes.
Okay, so let's talk about that scene though when she discovers it, right? Because
Yeah.
she walks in on it, and Geordi's like, "Oh no!" So he goes in there, and she's like, "This is an invasion of privacy and blah
Not
blah
the
blah.
spank
This
bank."
is terrible. How could you do this to me?" And he's like, "You? How could you do this to
Yeah.
me? You're been mean to me."
Let's start that.
You haven't been anything like the program that I've.
At that program, though, if you go
I've
through that
been
for Booby Trap,
masturbating too.
you put a password protect on that program. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, they live in the 24th
But
century
how
where they're not worried about that.
Intimate
You
a guy
put it
without
in a-
getting intimate. You put a password on that.
You put it in a password protected folder
Yeah.
labeled
Geordi's.
financial stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, I don't need his
Or you-
finances.
Delete that bad boy.
I just like that whole scene where
Oh yeah, I
he
laughed
starts lashing into her. I've been nothing but kind to you
because you're trying to bang her.
because you've been trying to bang her, and you've basically stalked her. You know Let's be like a stalker staring through your window, knowing everything about you, and being like,
Yes.
I don't like this. This is uncomfortable." And he's like, "But I love you. I don't understand why you're so uncomfortable.
Love me.
Love me." Okay, you freaking gaslighter. You are the worst, Geordi. You are the worst here.
He's very bad with the ladies.
And she and because he knows her, he knows he can guilt her into being like, "You're right, Geordi," and he does. At the end, she's like, "Yeah, it's totally normal for you to want to sleep. You should have seen your face when I found your spank bank material."
And I mean,
what a
not,
compliment.
She didn't know that it was taken out of context in the long run. And the computer was doing it, and it was romantic
If
and
you
all
went
stuff.
back for episode 2, stuff would have happened.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Or Holodeck
But
2, yeah.
At the moment, he ended the program, didn't go back to the program. So, but it's a bad look, Geordi, on a lot of different ways.
Yeah.
Bad look, Geordi. Like bad look.
See, I never understood why he so infrequently or basically never uses the excuse like, "I'm blind. I didn't know what I was doing. I couldn't see." I don't know.
What? Something going on?
I like how Guinan was like, "It must have been your other visor."
Yeah.
Take a hard
How
look.
good is Guinan the character though?
She is.
She's solid,
She's
very
the
solid.
tough love person, man.
Yeah.
You go to Guinan for advice, and she's like,
She's
"You a
no
bitch."
bullshit.
Yeah.
She's always calling them bitches too.
Yeah.
Like essentially. Like
I mean, that's in the script.
She speaks down to them. Like she talks down. She's like, "You're an idiot. You're an idiot. Picard, idiot. Riker, idiot.
Can you mention
Geordi,
a Guinan roast?
Corn
Idiot.
dog, idiot."
Yeah. A Guinan roast. Yeah, Worf. Great parenting.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Point of inquiry: Is Geordi has Geordi ever had sex?
I think they said with that one incident where he botched it first and he started dating, I think they kind of implied that he was getting normal-ish. So I'm gonna guess he's had something.
I don't. How
Because
old do you
he
think
acts-
Geordi's supposed to be? Like 27, 28?
I think it's low 30s.
Because he acts pretty.
He's a lieutenant commander, so he's got to be low 30s. Well, in Next Generation and Discovery, he'd probably be.
He's
12.
pretty aloof and not in tune with anything in the sexual realm.
We've all met some people that are awkward,
Mm-hmm.
but still have accomplished the goal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
There's people.
There's other people that are awkward out there too,
Yeah, they find
Yeah.
each other.
and there's also Ryza.
Why don't he just go there? Take his vacation days, his
Yeah,
PTO, and hit Ryza.
He probably did. He's probably like especially after this episode, he's like, "I screwed this up, Ryza, let's go."
He does really act like his actions are basically like, you know who loves me? The stripper that we went to the club the other night, and the stripper really liked me. So
I know what I'm doing.
that's
They're so nice to me.
basically his energy.
They sat next to me.
That's basically his energy. Is like I fell in love with. He has fell in love with the stripper energy.
I went to Hooters and the waitress would not stop talking to me. Like she was totally into me.
Also going under Hooters.
Yep.
All the franchisees. It's the biggest franchisor Ford's going under.
Yeah.
I blame Gen Z.
I blame the woke mob, man.
No, I blame
just
Gen
kidding.
Z because desexualized everything.
They desexualized everything.
It's sad.
Pour one out for Joe right
Yeah.
now, folks. He's very upset.
Hooters wings are great. They're not.
No,
They
they're not. They're
aren't.
terrible.
They
Terrible.
You go
aren't.
for the breasts, the chicken breasts.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh yeah, the chicken breast meal. It's fantastic.
You get the chicken strips.
Yeah.
I never liked the food there.
No, that's
No.
terrible.
Food's garbage. Who goes to Hooters for the food?
So I had a boss when I first started a company, and he's like, "We're gonna go to Hooters because their burgers are great. They're great." I'm like, first of all, those who know me, you can do just about anything if you say the food's great. I'm like, I'll try it, sure.
Yeah.
But don't lie to me why we're going somewhere.
But he could, in his head, have thought they actually were great because he associates good boobs as in good food, right? So, like,
I could see the
he's
confusion.
creating an association, right? Like where
Yeah.
it's like, well, I really enjoy this, so therefore the food must be good.
Spoiler alert: the burger was not great, and I was pissed.
Yeah, burger. Yeah, I used to go.
More importantly,
Let,
how are the boobs?
I don't remember that from back then.
That means they weren't that great
So
either.
there was an Imagine Theater kind of by us where we used to live, and when we were in a hurry, we would just when we were trying to catch a movie, we'd run over to Hooters and grab something to eat beforehand. There was a Hooters there right now.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Leslie and I would grab there and we'd crack up because we would watch the men who were alone flirt with the waitresses. It was always so much
Nick,
fun.
you got a good game. Yeah, we were in a hurry. We need to go. Hooters is right across the street. Let's go here.
It wasn't even across the street. You walked 10 feet,
yeah.
right?
Nick, well played. Well played.
We did. We went there 4 or 5 times.
There was a Rob, and who was the third? Our third. It was
In Cleveland?
yeah.
Scope.
We went for Rob's birthday. His wife planned a trip for the three of us to go to Cleveland, catch a Tigers game, playing the Indians, and
Hall of
Rock and
Fame.
Roll Hall of Fame.
The NFL Hall of Fame.
Yep, Canton. It was a great trip.
Fantastic
Pillow fight,
trip.
epic pillow fight.
Oh my gosh.
Hotel pillow fight.
4 men and a pillow fight. That's all I have to
I
say.
remember hearing about this story.
But upon arrival, we wanted food.
It
was I believe it was a night. It was
we were
after
drinking
the
first.
game. It was after the baseball game.
And we was Liddy.
Yes, we were intoxicated. We're like, where can we get food? We're hungry. We want a place where we can hang out all night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the without hesitation, the cab driver said, "Have you ever heard of Tilted Kilt?" And none of us had.
No.
Yeah.
He goes, "I'm taking you there right now. That's where you go."
Yep.
And we said, "Okay."
Yeah.
Dropped us off at Tilted Kilt.
And you didn't know what you were walking into.
No clue.
It was better than who. It was
Tilted Kill is better than Hooters, but they're out of business.
They're out of
too.
business. Yeah.
But here's the kicker: they had good food.
They had really good food.
Yeah, they did have good food.
Yeah.
And now all you got left, you have Twin Peaks. That's around.
Yeah. And 2 of those closed.
Did they?
Yeah.
They're gonna go under. Though Twin Peaks on Haggerty is always booming though.
Is it?
Always.
Probably lunchtime. With all that-
Anytime you drive by it, it's packed. Leslie won't
Have we
go there
gone to
with
Twin
me.
Peaks or did we?
No, I don't think we have.
Leslie won't go with me in there.
No?
No.
I don't.
And I won't go in there without her. 'Cause
Really?
I feel dirty going.
Oh,
in a
I mean,
place
yeah,
like
I get that.
without my-
I mean,
Well-
I get
One thing about Twin Peaks, you have a TV at every single table.
that's okay.
It's
That's good.
fantastic. Every single booth. Let me rephrase that. With charging ports.
See, I've never been to. I haven't been.
Scope, who I would usually meet for lunch there because it was kind of centered to all our territories.
Okay.
Plus, TV's at the table.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I've never seen that until then.
Get rid of the waitresses and just give me the TV.
All
at
you
the
gotta do is
table.
tell me that there's TVs at every table, and I'm in.
I'm in. All right. So anything else from this episode? We've kind of danced around it. Oh, Geordi finds out she's married, man, and he is
So mad.
so mad.
Stupid computer.
Stupid computer.
Stupid computer. But they're in the 24th century. Aren't they more evolved? Right? Isn't it well, I know you're married, but aren't we?
Aren't all marriages an open marriage in the 24th century?
You'd think so.
Or maybe they're more faithful in the 24th century.
Maybe they got faith in the heart.
Maybe they got faith of the heart, so therefore,
Yeah.
I took these vows, and I'm forever sworn to Joe.
Yeah.
I'm blind. I didn't see your wedding ring.
I love
This
the.
doesn't show up on my visor.
It is kind of interesting though that she spends the whole episode basically saying she's bad with people and she doesn't know how to interact with people, and then she reveals that she's married. When you get married, it kind of makes you better at dealing with people, I think.
I don't. It depends on who you're married to,
I guess that's true.
because you absorb some traits, or you become used to traits.
Okay. That's a good point, and I want to use it to address a very subtle thing at the end of the episode that I picked up.
Okay.
When they're laughing and they go to the table and
Yeah,
stuff.
they're drinking together.
Yeah, and they're laughing and they're commiserating and it's haha. And she gets a call.
And it's her husband.
And it's her husband. And she has this look of almost disappointment on her face.
She does.
I did not catch that.
No, I caught that too. It was
And I
really
was like-
weird, oh, I'm having such a great time with Joy.
Yeah.
Oh crap, I got to go back to
It's the
reality.
man.
And I was like,
So she was emotionally cheating in that moment.
it felt like it.
Yeah.
I did not catch that.
There was the look on her face like, oh, okay.
Crap, I got to go back to my real husband.
And I wonder, because she got a call before,
Yeah.
but they didn't say who it was.
Right.
I don't think.
Right.
So I'm led to believe from the second call that the first one was also her husband.
Exactly.
Yeah,
And the
'cause-
first one,
and
she
then
didn't make a
he-
big deal about it.
And they
So
didn't want to
is he,
reveal
like,
it.
checking in on her?
No, I don't think they
or-
wanted to reveal it, but I think they wanted to have that thing where you could watch the episode again and go, I bet you that was their husband.
Yeah,
Because
so
you're
is
still
he,
going to
like-
talk to your husband or your significant other when you're on a long trip.
Yeah,
I mean, when we were on the cruise, I mean, did you talk to your kids?
yeah, but couldn't they do that in their her quarters?
Well, I think they announced it to her, and is there someplace private I can take this? And Geordi said my office.
I just found it.
I think.
I found the fact that
And
both.
that's when she came out and said it was inappropriate for her to stay. After she got the phone call from her husband.
That's the thing is, I found the timing of the calls odd because
It's almost like they were stopping some, like they're
Like
like,
if-
they
if
do
you-
it. They
got
do
that air
clearly
tag.
have chemistry. It's just that they're in the wrong
like if
place.
you
at the wrong time.
were like, let's say one of your let's say our significant others they were all out working or whatever, and you're like, okay, well, I know that they're out on a business trip. They're probably working until at least 5. Usually it's a little bit later. Sometimes you have like dinners or stuff so I'll reach out to them later in the evening when they're probably winding down.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's just maybe he's not a good husband.
Maybe he's not a good husband, but I also think there's a little
Are you
bit
gaslighting him?
like I think part of what they're trying to show is that the two do have very good chemistry together, and in a different world they would be in a relationship. But
In an alternate timeline?
yeah, but they can't be. I think that's
In
part
the
of what they're
multiverse.
trying
In the
to show.
multiverse.
But unfortunately, what they showed me is here's a woman who wants to bone him but can't bone him. Right? Like that's what I
So
got.
did
Like,
all his research work then?
it worked?
It worked. The long game worked.
The long game worked. So
When the long game works and it turns out she can't.
I just love this idea. It's like, yes, I've been stalking you, but you should be ashamed of yourself because
Yeah,
you,
that whole
you didn't respond
holodeck
to me
scene was-
nicely. And the fact that I think that was one of the things that actually bugged me was that last interaction when she's like, "You should have saw your face," and he's like, "You should have saw your face." I'm like, "No, that's still a very uncomfortable moment.
Yeah.
We should not be laughing about that moment." Like,
No, you should have saw your face when you discovered my spank bank
yeah, exactly. Like,
that I had built
around you,
around your
exclusively
entire
around you.
file.
Oh yeah, that led to my obsession where I read it up on you. I'd probably learn what you'd like to eat. And
I like how he was like, I've studied your work. I've studied your work.
yeah, right.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
I've dissected
he
you.
built-
Dissected
because-
your material.
No, but
I didn't get Quark to make a program of you at all.
Yeah.
it really was a good program because he was able to go back to the base versions of those engines, right?
Yeah. Yep.
And he could essentially
That was a good episode, Booby Trap.
he could essentially use it to work backwards from problems,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
The issue is,
It got a little weird at the end.
yes,
Yep. It did. It did.
I blame the computer. The computer's in love with Geordi.
yes,
Yep.
set him up. The
And
computer
so
set him
and
up.
so the computer set him up because it's mad he never came back.
We're on. To
And they're like,
something.
oh yeah, Leah, here, while you're researching this, here's this program. Now we see what's going on.
Yeah, we do.
she's
AI.
available.
AI is the reason for the downfall of
AI
everything.
is the reason for the season. All right, let's go into rating, gentlemen. First Contact.
The movie.
The episode.
First Contact.
I thought it was solid.
It was very solid. My instinct is 8.
I gave it an 8 because of the questions it asks
Yeah.
and the dilemmas it faces.
I'm gonna give it an 8 as well. That
8
was,
across the board.
that was my initial
We need to
like.
come up with a sound when we write
gut
something the
reaction.
same. Yeah, some huge sound. Because that very rarely happens. Oh,
I was hoping that would be the one.
it works.
Yes.
All right.
Or big fracking deal. That would be a good
Do I
one.
have that on there?
Big
There it is.
fracking deal.
Gotta get that BSG in there. Never heard of it though. Galaxy's Child.
Destiny's
Say my
Galaxy
name,
Child.
say my name.
Destiny's Child. I
No
forgot I was
one
gonna say
is
that the entire
around
thing.
you. Say, baby,
Dang
I
it.
love you. Why you acting strange? Say my name, Leah Brahms. Brahms.
I like it. It works.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it worked.
Okay.
3.5.
Shut up.
That's so funny is this is not a good rated episode in the,
Really? It's not?
Yeah, like I was looking on Wikipedia and a lot of them are like 3 out of 10s and everything like that.
Really?
I didn't think it's that bad.
don't
Not
think it was
nearly
that
that
bad.
bad at all.
I think it's like a 6.5.
Ooh, that's a little high. I'm gonna go 5.5.
Okay.
Thought it was above average.
I'll do the field goal. I'll hit the 6.
Okay. I just thought it was a good back and forth between him and Leah.
I just really liked it. It carried well. It kept my interest.
I get you. Next week we got 2 episodes, Night Terrors and Identity Crisis.
Don't forget we have also listener feedback.
I never said we didn't. I'm just telling them next week what we're covering.
And if
Rob.
you're still with us, TMNT, the movie, is at theaters this weekend. Imagine theaters and other theaters.
Oh, okay. Speaking
1990 version.
Yes. Speaking of that,
Yeah.
the Redford Theater.
In Redford.
I think it's technically Detroit.
Yeah, it is.
Why is it called the Redford Theater?
I don't know.
I think it probably used to be a border of
It
for
is.
Redford then.
It's right on the border,
Yeah.
but it is.
Anyways.
Anyway, they are like an old timey theater. They show old movies. Sometimes they work with like the Michigan Historical Society to get like 35 or 70 millimeter prints.
Yeah.
It's awesome. It's a great place to go see old movies. They play them. They do themes.
Yeah.
Later this month on the 29th, they're showing The Sandlot, which
very
I'm going to
cool.
take the kids to see The Sandlot. But on my birthday, they are showing one of my favorite movies of all time, the Tommy Wiseau gem, The Room.
I don't know that one.
It's terrible. It's known as the worst movie of all time.
It is known as the best worst movie of all time. It is.
It sounds super.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
And Mark is the guy who played Mark is gonna be there.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
It's bad. It's bad.
It was the Disaster Artist. The movie The Disaster Artist.
Oh yeah.
Was
You are
when,
tearing me apart, Lisa.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's so bad.
The Disaster Artist was about Tommy Wiseau. It was made about Tommy Wiseau making The Room.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's where what's his name, Numbnuts won all those awards. He won. Did he win Best Actor? I believe
Yeah, I
that
think he
year.
did for that.
I think Disaster Artist won Best Picture or was nominated.
Yeah.
So that's what I'll be doing on my birthday, gentlemen. That's awesome. And now, listener feedback.
Open hailing frequencies. Open hailing frequencies.
Frequencies open.
Thank you. Gosh. Can this captain not get you to respond quicker? All right. Go ahead.
I think we have to catch up on some YouTube comments.
Yeah, because we haven't got anything to our phone number, which is 734-494-0980.
It didn't work in international waters.
You can call and text. We like it. We really like the calls.
I don't. I hate it.
Because call and say you hate Nick, please. 734
That's true.
494-0980. And if you're on the cruise, reach out. All right, Joe, what do we got?
Brody says we bring him loads of joy.
Aw.
Aw.
I
Thanks.
don't know what he meant by loads of joy,
Thanks, bro.
I bring all kinds of...
but not sure what he meant by loads, but it's fine.
Is it Brody or my wife?
It says we should try to turn every conversation towards Battlestar Galactica.
So say we all.
I've never heard of that.
So say we all. Such a good show. Such a good show. I want to go.
He
Brody.
timestamped something, and I didn't have a chance to look at it, but it says, sounds like a topic for righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. That may be the most mad I've seen Rob. Genuinely frightening. I'm not sure exactly. We'll have to go back and see.
Yeah, I don't remember either. We'll have to look that up.
Takes a lot to get Rob angry. But you wouldn't like him when he's angry.
Maybe. So we got some new listeners.
Yes.
And some new feedback from people we met on the cruise.
Yes. Star Trek cruise people.
On YouTube.
Star Trek
On YouTube?
cruise.
Because we got some text, too.
Star Trek cruise. From Brooke of Derek and Brooke fame.
Derek texted as well, to reiterate.
Oh. Do we have the text?
Yeah, it's on that phone that we're recording with.
So it was awesome meeting you guys on the cruise. Had such a great time. You've definitely gained a new listener.
Yes.
Yes, Queen.
Can't wait to keep up with you guys. Hope to see you guys
I see what
again.
you did there.
Hope to see you guys again, hopefully at a con, Star Trek Las Vegas.
I've thought about Star Trek Las Vegas.
This year, I don't know if we can. I don't know if I can.
I can't this year. I can't afford it, no. But next year.
And then Barb of Cassie and Barb fame.
Barb!
Barb, who I thought was like the mom of the cruise.
Yeah, she was. And she was incredible. I love Barb.
Barb
Yeah.
was awesome. She
Had
was
a good
great.
vibe.
Yeah. Said, loved meeting you all on the Star Trek cruise. Excited to be a new listener. Hi,
Yay,
Barb.
Barb.
Hi, Barb.
Welcome.
It's very cool.
Yeah.
And then someone said, I hope you die from COVID.
That was me.
R. Reed. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was
Weird.
Oh, I just thought it. I didn't say it.
I put it in the YouTube comments.
Thanks. That's great. So yeah, offer your feedback 734-494-0980. We'd love to hear from you. But also, if you want more crap, go to Patreon. We put a lot of crap on Patreon. We put a lot of cruise stuff on there. We're gonna have another Patreon here real quick after this episode.
I wouldn't classify it as crap. It's more
Quality crap.
Well, I mean crap in a good way.
It's more things.
Yes. Often
Not good. They're not good things,
But
but
they're
they're
things.
things.
Okay.
I don't know.
Neither good value nor bad value.
If you ever want to see us do a music video or shirtless, there are good things on there.
If you're looking for quantity over quality, go to Patreon.
there is a lot of quantity.
I don't know.
there.
Some of the stuff we've done there has been pretty fun.
It has been. It's been a good time.
And
So-
at this point, you get all of it. And
$2 a month, man. That's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
Brody, thank you for hyping us on the video last week when
Yes.
you talked about our Patreon.
Thanks, Brody. But anyways, thanks for keeping up with us, folks. We enjoyed it. Next week, we're going to be back with 2 more episodes to review. Night
Ugh.
Terrors, which is a great one, I recall.
I don't remember.
night
I don't
terrors
remember.
or terrors?
I think it's a Brandon Braga one. Those get weird.
Night Terrors.
Okay.
Terrors. So we'll see you next week. Thanks for keeping up with us. Peace.
What about escalation?
Escalation.
We start carrying semi-automatics, they buy automatics. We start wearing Kevlar, they buy armor-piercing rounds.
Man.
And you're wearing a mask, jumping off rooftops. Now take this guy. Armed robbery, double homicide. Got a taste for the theatrical, like you. Leaves a calling card.
Balake. Where is Balake at? There's no Balake here today. Yes, sir.
My name's Blake.